everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mix, episode 85. It's the end of another week and it's been a long ass week. I hope wherever in the world you're watching from, you're staying safe and staying out of trouble. We are just about to hit the midway point of our second season in the championship, and it's been up, it's been down, it's been kind of all over the shop at various points throughout the course of the year. We're going to jump in, we'll have a quick look at our results and then plan a little bit further forward moving into January. So a proper celebration, because we're actually going to do our New Year's game Saturday the 29th of December, and then our first game at the start of the season against Fulham on the 1st of January to bring us into 2030, a new decade in the game universe, 10 years in advance of where we're currently kind of sitting right now. And hopefully the first real step in seeing us become like a Premier Division stalwart side, getting into Champions League, all that sort of great stuff that we expect to happen as the save continues. If we look back on our main... first and foremost, we're currently 8th in the division, 23 games played. We do have a game in hand on quite a few different teams down below here. We were supposed to play West Brom a couple of weeks ago, but it got washed out because our ground is currently struggling to get through the volume of games that it's had. We will have that catch-up game at some point in February, but otherwise, 23 games played, 12 wins, 2 draws and 9 losses, which when you think about it in terms of where we sit in the division, 8th isn't bad, but if we end the season with, like 4 draws and 18 defeats, that's not really good enough form to probably get us into the playoff picture. I think by the time we get to that stage of the year, more teams will be settled, everyone will be ready to go, and it'll be a bit more of a struggle for us to try and get towards the top of the division. The other big one, and it's been a continued pain point, we only have +1 goal difference. When we win, we just scrape by. When we lose, we seemingly concede a couple. And since that last episode, of course, where we played Blackburn and Portsmouth and lost 1-0 and 2-1 respectively, they were top of the division and Portsmouth at the time were second, and they're still sitting up towards the top of the league. But since then, we've really struggled against some teams towards the bottom of the division. We beat Rochdale 1-0 through a Ramirez goal just after half-time. Sheffield Wednesday, while they were sitting down in 20th, randomly beat us 2-0, and they were all over us this game. We couldn't get anything going. Just looking at these average match ratings here, nothing above a 7. It was a really difficult performance for a lot of players. Middlesbrough beat us. We maybe could have done a little bit better in this one. You can see a couple of midfielders did a little bit better, but still just struggling to find the back of the net has been our key issue. And then Luton, who at the time were managerless, didn't have any coaching set up, didn't have anything going on, having just sacked their manager, somehow managed to beat us 1-0, which was quite frustrating. So after that, I made a bit of a tactical tweak. We went away to Ipswich, who were top of the division at the time, and won it through an Hernandez de Vargas goal, and we missed a penalty in this one. It could have been an even better performance. Cardiff, we beat 1-0 thanks to an early goal. Cardiff similarly have been a side that's played at a Premier League level over the last couple of seasons in the game universe. Our defence really kept us in this one. They did very, very well. Mohamed Hosseini getting the goal from a good counter-attack in the early stages of the game. And then last time out, we beat Huddersfield. It was very nervy. It was very tense. They put us under a lot of pressure. But de Vargas from the penalty spot after coming off the bench in the 89th minute got the goal to see us through. That's been one of our big concerns. So 24 games played, I think, for de Vargas. He's only scored 6 goals during that time, which isn't an ideal stat line at any point of the season for one of the guys that you expect to be banging them in quite regularly. And then our other striker, Raphael, has actually only scored once from 17 appearances, albeit with a lot of those off the bench. I have been using him more regularly recently as we've kind of looked to go to more stable player roles within the structure. So we're using an advanced forward at the moment. We've got the wingers both set to attack, so they'll push on a little bit higher. We've got a central midfielder set to attack to try and link our defensive lines a little bit and have someone that's willing to carry the ball in midfield. We've moved Hosseini to a defend role because of that, so that we're always leaving 3 in defensive regardless of what happens. And as great as Andy Trueblood's been as a complete wing-back, as good as Kirst has been as a complete wing-back, they just seem to be leaving us very exposed. So I've moved them to be wing-backs on defend, and it's given us a little bit more stability. We're still not exactly where I want us to be. There are times in games where we're hanging on quite a bit. There are times in games where perhaps we do need to take our foot off the gas a little bit and drop back to a positive mentality, but I'm concerned that we invite too much pressure that way and our team doesn't exactly handle pressure that well. But like I said at the start of the week, like I said at the start of this second season, we need to just be patient. We need to trust the process a little bit. We're trying to develop a lot of these players to not be necessarily, 4-star players right now, but 4 and 5-star players in a year's time or 2 years' time or whatever it happens to be. So if this does end up being a season where we're, just going to tread water and stay in the division again, I at least want us to play good football and play competitive, which is why we're currently attacking at the moment and why we've kind of made some adjustments towards where we want to be. Now, having said that, 1st of January, we've got some reinforcements that are going to come in. We'll have a look at those guys before the Fulham episode, and I might even give them debuts that day if they come in relatively good form. More than enough from me though, let's jump in and have a look at the 2 lineups for the game against top of the table Blackburn. So looking at their lineup, it's a very flat 4-4-2. We've played Blackburn a couple of times. We played them earlier this week as well. Quello's their star player so far. He's been excellent for them. Herrera, who I think played in midfield last time we played, he's dropped to the back. We know Dewsbury Hall's quite a good player. They're leading assist maker for the season. Karamoko Dembele, obviously a fantastic wonder kid at Celtic at the start of everybody's saves. They've got Kane Ramsey at right back, who's another very good player, comes through the Chelsea Academy at the start of the series. He's at Southampton. And up top, Arvin Appiah, who has consistently scored against us throughout the last couple of years. We did beat Blackburn a couple of seasons ago, if you remember back to when we were in League One in the FA Cup. Got through on penalties against them after a replay. It's a very similar lineup, but I think a very stronger one. A lot of these regen players that they're starting to integrate into their sides are very good at players as well. We're going to go with Kubas in goal, Curse, Escobar, Garisinger, and Trueblood as the defensive line. I'm looking at one more additional centre-back to try and bring in. He's a ball-playing defender, and I desperately want one. In the January window, we'll see if that happens in this episode. Hosseini Wilanka as the number 6 now. He's kind of playing a little bit deeper. Madrigal as the linking midfielder alongside him. Benezi at the 10. Ramirez on the left wing, who's been fantastic. I've lost all patience with Charlie Davies on the right. Stuart Daub's playing, even though he's not settled. We've got another right winger that's going to come in for the next game as well. And De Vargas can lead the line up top. He's playing as an advanced forward, which isn't his preferred role, but he can do it. So hopefully he will continue his progression towards playing a little bit better in that role as we go on. Assertively, we're going to say we owe Blackburn after what happened in our last game. They did beat us 1-0 in that match. I'm hopeful at home it'll give us a little bit of an advantage, and we're not in bad form, 3 wins on a trot. But as we know, anything can happen when you reload the game, so hopefully we can continue a good little run of form and get a good result. And just personally, it'd be great to start the weekend with 6 points. That's exactly how I want the weekend to start. Through 30 minutes already, this is the first highlight we've seen. It's going to start from a goal kick for us. Garisinger long ball forward towards Dorber, does well to bring it down, but he's got a couple of bodies around him. Does well to find Benezi, who resets through Hosseini deep in midfield. Looks forward to Madrigal. Nice little reverse pass to... Oh, it's a wonderful work goal. Nice little reverse pass from Madrigal. Found De Vargas. And then he played Ramirez in on the left-hand side. And he has absolutely walloped that one past near post for his 4th goal of the season. It's a good little interplay here. I thought maybe this ball was a bit too dangerous. Hosseini going long into the middle of the park is always a concern. But De Vargas, good little pass there. And Ramirez just doesn't wait. Hits it first time. As the keeper scrambles to near post, we take a 1-goal advantage with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're going to use our demand more shout as well. Just give everyone some focus to half time. But an immediate highlight here again. Short throw-in routine. Hosseini now to Madrigal. Out wide right to Andy Trueblood if he can wrap his foot around this one. Instead he goes back to Hosseini at the base of midfield. Looks to send a ball over to the left-hand side. And they've managed to recover it back in midfield. Black's on a tear, bursting through midfield. Hosseini with a lovely recovery run. Kirsch will play it back to Kubas. Oh, he nearly bloody pushed it back into his own goal there. Garisinger recovers. Back to Kubas again. Work it out to the left-hand side if it's not on the right. Instead we go down the middle. Madrigal recovers. And they're showing us that highlight about whether the goal line tech was needed. But let's be honest, it's never needed. This is a video game. Corner here, Dewsbury Hall to take. Deep one towards back stick. Agalume with a goal-bound header. But Kubas does quite well to save and hold. Is that the end of the highlight? We've got a bit of space here on the right if we get it forward. Trueblood now with possession. He looks to release Dorber down the line, who turns the man tremendously well and gets in the box. Can he square it up? Instead, he goes to strike himself. These kits are a little bit clashy as well. They're very light blue. At halftime, 1-0 up, 7 shots, 3 on target, 51% possession. They've had 5, 2, and 49%. Whenever I use this, don't get complacent out there, shout, it never works. So I'm passionately going to say, happy with your performance so far, keep it up, and hopefully just giving everyone's morale a boost that way will help us find our focus into the second half. Kubas, deep goal kick here, or deep free kick from an offside position, I believe. Goes to Escobar and then picks it back up again. Let's look right and left. Let's not look through the middle. Instead, we've gone straight to Madrigal down the middle. Benezi should have time to turn and recover here. Plays it forward to Ramirez, who can try and turn the winger. He wants to go inside desperately. Gets back on his left foot again and finds the finish. It's a double for the left winger. He has been absolutely fantastic this season. And again, another player that just seems to be playing above and beyond his star rating. He's only, I think, about 3 stars and maybe 4-star potential at this point. But look at the tight control here. First Ramsey, I think, fouls him, but he keeps going, doesn't wait for the whistle. And then once he gets that chance to get it on his left foot, low and hard across the keeper into the far corner for a 2-0 advantage. A wonderful performance from him. And I don't think we've had a hat-trick so far this season. Quello with the ball. Hosseini's gone through him nearly, but Quello's going to continue. Gardner, the left fullback, looks to have come off the bench. Quello now turns one, gets into the box, plays it in behind for a pie. Someone's got to come out to him. There's no way that the keeper wouldn't come out if the ball got into the 6-yard box to try and find the finish. Where does Appiah eventually strike this from? It's good work from Quello. We know he's a good player, so I'm not that upset about him turning a couple. But look at where this ball eventually ends up. He's about 3 yards out when he smashes that home. And Kubis has been excellent for us all season, but it just invites unnecessary pressure conceding like that. And they've got a corner here as well. If they immediately pull one back, I will be very upset. Ball across, and they've pulled one back. Why do I open my mouth? I know that Sports Interactive listens in on this. It's not paranoia. I don't need to wear a tinfoil hat. It's a good corner, to be fair. Dewsbury Hall whips it in, and then Sokolenko who's that, the defender? Is that Garasinger? It is indeed. Sokolenko just waits for him to jump under the ball. We've got 30 minutes remaining. What do we want to try and do here? We've got a couple of players struggling. Kirst hasn't played particularly well. Maybe we'll bring on Ashley Barry as a left wing back. Dorber hasn't played well. Maybe I'll give Charlie Davies a chance. One last chance before he gets replaced in the squad. And Garasinger will come off for Tyrone Taylor. Now let's see what we're going to do here with these player roles. I think maybe we push on a little bit and go for a winner. We're not going to get anything from a 2-2 draw. Let's put everyone in their preferred roles except Vargas. I want him to stay as a wing back. As an advanced forward. I want Ashley Barry to play as a wing back as well. Tyrone Taylor can play as a stopper, and Andy Trudelblood, let's get him a little bit further forward. Let's see how we go. So 3 subs with 30 minutes remaining. It never bodes well. Likely means we're going to go down to 10 men via injury or illness or some sort of ridiculous red card. But we're also going to use our Get Creative shout, and everyone seems inspired, which is good to see. We've scored twice already. We can surely get ourselves a third to try and get these 3 points. Into the last 10 minutes now, we're going to use our Demand More shout. Just give everyone some focus through to full time. If we can't win, we definitely at least want to try and get through and hold on to the current draw. Long ball forward from Gardner. Karamoko Dembele with the ball. Looks for the switch out to Quello, who has gotten goal side. Just stand him up, boys. Don't overcommit. Trueblood does well to slow him down. Taylor with the header away. Hassini to Benizzi. Now Davies, the fresh sub. Can he send the ball down the line? Oh, he's managed to beat one man, and he's gone on a run. He's getting towards the edge of the area now. Ball back across. Header away by Gardner in the Blackburn defensive line. Benizzi with the drive from distance. We've given away possession. Applies the danger man, and he's on the ball now on halfway. Good switch out towards Karamoko Dembele. Back into Sokolenko, and he's managed to find the finish. I don't know what's going on with this team. We just seem to crumple whenever we get into a position where we might actually win the game. It's a good switch, and I know Dembele is a very good player, but again, it's just a ball into space, it's a very good pass into space. Sokolenko initially hits the crossbar, or the upright, and then it falls back to him, of course. He's got time to take a touch, even though the goalkeeper's basically inside him, and pass into the back of the empty net. 4 minutes to be added on here. Is there going to be any late drama? Have we stayed attacking too long? It's 3-2 defeat after being 2-0 up. So disappointing. 13 shots, 4 on target, 49% possession. They had 10 shots, 6 on target, 51% of the ball. I'm going to aggressively say that was unacceptable. We needed a win, and at least everyone's responded positively. No one seems to have gotten too upset. And I guess if you want to focus on the positive, reinforcements are coming. We've got some depth coming to the squad. FC Isle of Man in disappointing collapse. Luciano Ramirez gets a double, 8.8 match rating. Fantastic work from him. What was your reaction to being linked with a high-profile job? I don't really want to go to Everton. I'd like to stay at Isle of Man. And let's give Ramirez some praise for being superb in front of goal. And Garasinger has leaked to the press that I absolutely slammed them after the last one. We've only got a couple of days till the game against Fulham. We are going to use a rest day. Everyone that started can have one rest day to hopefully get some initial conditioning back. And then, magic of editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Fulham now. Actually, wait, no, we won't. We're going to jump forward and I'll introduce you guys to the new faces as they arrive on the 1st of January. Alright, so just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. We haven't gotten all of the players that we want to try and bring in on the 1st of January, but we will continue trying to get a couple. I'll show you those guys in a second. But the first one that comes in is Goran Petrovic, another wonderful face pack here by Chilled Moose. Go and check out the links to her Patreon and stuff down in the comment section below. In the description below. But 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Can play on that right wing as a supporting winger. We're going to try and get him working as an attacking one as well. Excellent first touch, good physical attributes. Mental attributes maybe need a little bit of work, but we haven't paid a tremendous amount for him, picking him up from Partizan Belgrade. First Serbian, I think, to play for the club thus far. He's on a good few years deal, and he's only on 2k a week, so he's not going to cost us the world either. Thrilled to have him. We just haven't been able to get that spot right. I'm hopeful that he will be the person that can stake a claim and give us some consistency on both sides of our wings. Ramirez has been dragging us through games at the moment. We really needed someone to give us balance on the other side. The other one I've signed is Abu Bakar Kamara, who we picked up from Reims over in France. We did pay a little bit for this guy. 1.5 million. I think it's 500k up front, 1 million over the next 3 years. Still only 18 years of age, which is crazy when you look at his career stats over here, where he's been playing since I think the age of about 15 or 16. He's been around a couple of different clubs at the French level. He's already declared for Guinea, the Guinean national side. On a little bit more, £5,000 a week, but 16 dribbling, 16 finishing. That's really the main issue that we've had. A striker that was going to consistently score goals for us. You can see he's only 4-star potential ability, but in reality, I think a lot of these traits are going to put him in a good position to be that finishing player that we want. He will likely come in straight away to the first team lineup just to see how he gets on. And worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, we've still got Raphael there, we've still got De Vargas there, but we just need someone that's going to get us 10 goals in this run home in the second half of the season. So we've spent a little bit on both. We're going to send them both on intensive language courses. We're also going to ask the Wolf and Taylor to actually introduce themselves to them and introduce them to the rest of their teammates so that they settle nicely. There are a couple other guys we're looking at. Shojay Mohammedillapur. I'm probably going to butcher that 10 or 7 times. We've gone back to Iran, which is where we picked up Husseini, who was probably our best pre-purchase thus far, and we're trying to pick him up as well. He's ball-playing defender and can play as a stopper. He can also play as a ball-playing defender on defend or cover if we need him to, but that stopper role is what I really want, and I want a player that can pass out from the back. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, only 18 years of age. He's left-footed, which I always love having that left-footed central defender. He wants a little bit of cash. We have made an offer. Hopefully he will come in the next episode or so. And then the last one, he's basically like a new signing because you guys haven't seen him yet. Christian Hernandez, he's returning from a loan away at Caracas in Venezuela. His wingback on defend, given that we are currently using that role, I want to give him an opportunity. He's got 17 aggression, bravery, and determination. He's on next to no money. His contract is up at the end of the season, so I will look to offer him one shortly. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential from the 18-year-old. I'm hopeful that we can actually give him a starting berth on the left-hand side, and he's going to immediately hit the ground running with it. We are going to remove him from the loan list. I don't want him disappearing anytime soon. We might put Curse on the bench there as well. And we're also going to pretty much drop straight in Goran Petrovic to start on that right-hand side. And why not give Abu Bakar Kamara a start as well. Tactically, they all seem to relatively fit in. I might actually just set them up as being in their preferred roles just until they get settled in the side. But I think it immediately gives us a better balance straight away, having someone ready to play first-team football on that right-hand side. He's of a similar star rating and level already to Ramirez. Kamara comes in, comfortable in that position, ready to go. 16 dribbling, 16 finishing. That's desperately the parts that I need to see from him. Just someone to finish the chances that we continue to create. And hopefully, these couple of additional players will give us the little bit of an advantage we need to get ourselves into that playoff picture. And if we go on a great run, who knows? Who knows what will happen after there? The league is still relatively wide open. Right, so this is the lineup that we're going for. It's slightly tweaked. Of course, Cooper's in goal, Escobar and Greisinger as the central defensive partnership. Maybe Greisinger drops out if we do sign that additional defender. Hernandez comes in for his debut at left wing back. Trueblood on the right-hand side. Husseini and Madrigal will be the base of midfield. Benitzi at the 10. Ramirez on the left wing. Petrovic making his debut on the right. And Kamara up top. We know that the dynamic, the match engine, whatever you want to call it, actually loves saying that a player has scored on their debut. Those two in the final third, I'm really hoping they can be the ones for us. It's a very strong Fulham lineup. They were, at the start of the season, determined that they were going to be one of the better sides in the division. They haven't quite worked out as well this season. They're only a couple of spots ahead of us, I think. Tico was one of the guys that was highlighted as being in the media 11. Looks to be a very, very good 21-year-old midfielder from Cruzeiro over in Brazil. It took me a second to figure out who that was. 19 determination. He looks very, very good. We'll have to keep an eye on him in their midfield. Messias up top is their leading scorer so far for this season. A full Mexican international that they've picked up from Everton via Chivas and Club Leon over there. Looks decent, 16 finishing, 16 natural fitness as well. Good versatility. They've got Renan Lodi, who I had back in the beta of FM20 at Atletico Madrid. He was fantastic on that left wing-back side. Very good player. And Mark Gahey, ex-Chelsea junior, 29-year-old Ivory Coast defender with 85 caps to his name, is the captain of the side at the moment. He looks very, very decent as well and has played in the Premier League with Southampton and was previously, briefly, at PSG for a little spell as well. So a very good team, a very, very good side. We're going to have to be at our best to beat them. Assertively, we're going to say, we've got nothing to lose here. Let's show everyone how good we are and let's tell the defence that I have faith in them just to try and carry them through. Disappointing to lose the last game against Blackburn, but with new signings, a new transfer window comes renewed hope, and hopefully we can get a bit of a boost from the new faces and get out there and get 3 points. Ball on the left-hand side here. Renan Lodi's coming forward. Someone's just got to send him backwards. We do now. Back to Gomez at the base of midfield. Now Khmer out to the left-hand side. We've left it 2v1 on this left-hand side by pressing too high from wing area. Grassing it with the header away, and then I'm not sure who that was in midfield, just cracked a shot against the crossbar before we managed to scramble it away. So a decent half chance, you'd say, early on in the game for Fulham. Through most of the first half here without a whole lot of highlights. We're going to just demand more, just to give everyone some focus through to full time, or half time I should say. Greisinger resets from the goal kick. He's looked long. There's no one there challenging for it. Gomez, back to him. Renan Lodi's now got the 2v1 going on the left. Finds Torres. Come on, boys, get goal side. He's gotten into the box and got the strike away. Kubis with a good save. An authoritative save, actually. Nearly pushes it out for a throw, but it just wiggles in for a corner. Torres is going to take the resulting corner. Deep one towards backstick. Greisinger with a good header away. Ismail Assar will recover. Is that the end of the highlight, or are we going to see some more here? Sends it back out to Torres on the right wing, who immediately cuts inside. Hernandez with the foul, given away in a deep area, and he's picked up a yellow card. We'll see that free kick now. Torres looks towards backstick. It's hit the deck, and a good save from Kubis again to keep Wood out. The defender got forward and managed to find the ball at his feet at back post. Torres with the corner again, and flick on header from Comer. They're definitely putting us under some pressure here. We might go positive at half-time just to see how we go, because this stat line isn't flattering us at all. Half-time, we do manage to make it through. They've had 7 shots, 5 on target, 61% possession. We've had 2, 1 and 39. Let's assertively say far from pleased with what I just saw from this team, and I think it was True Blood that looked a little bit depressed by that. Let's go to this positive structure. Let's put Petrovic on a little bit further forward. Neither of the subs really having any impact so far in the game. It is tough to go into a new country. It is tough to go into a new side, but I was kind of hopeful that we could maybe leverage some of the match engine stuff and get one in. Hosseini's got the ball here, but he's lost out to Macias. Long ball forward towards Baldwin. Greisinger with a good header. Sends it forward to Beniti. Now out to the left wing for Ramirez. Who can we get back post here? Deep run towards Petrovic. Oh, that would have been a perfect opportunity for him to open his account, but just headed over at the far post. All right, I was just about to make subs anyway, but Petrovic has picked up a knock, which isn't great. We'll give... Who do we want to go with? Charlie Davies or Dorba? We'll also make a sub with Camara. It hasn't quite worked out for him today, but it's not to say it won't in future. He's struggling a little bit for conditioning at the minute as well, I think. And then maybe in midfield, we'll bring on the Wolf to try and shore things up, or we might switch him around with Hosseini. We'll put Hosseini to a deep line playmaker on support. We'll send the Wolf to a deep line playmaker on defend. Actually, let's go support as well. Let's try and give them a base to knock balls over the top and try and find people. And we've only got half an hour remaining, so let's also set True Blood to be a wing back on support. And we'll go with that. Passionately, I have faith in you to get out there and make a difference. Always risky to do 3 subs with 30 minutes remaining, but you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I've also used our Get Creative shout. Everyone seems inspired, which is great. Best player on the park so far in the game is Kubis, keeping us in this one. But maybe we can try and snag something late on, get maybe an undeserved or half-deserved win. We're into the last 10 minutes now. Let's use our demand more shout as well. Everyone seems focused, but so does Fulham from their team talk. And what additional time? 5 whole minutes of additional time is going to be added on here. We're through the majority of that now. There are going to be no highlights in the second half. How incredibly boring as the game comes to an end at 0-0. 12 shots, 6 on target, 59% possession for Fulham, 5-2 and 41 for us. I'm going to calmly say, well done lads, you've proved a lot of people in avoiding defeat out there. Fulham are a side that have come down from the Premier League. Playing at Craven Cottage was always going to be tricky. It sees us stay in 9th position. 25 games played, 12 wins, 3 draws, 10 defeats in that time, and 0 goal difference isn't ideal. You would think with about, 21 games remaining of the season, if we finish the season with 20 defeats in the league, we're not going to get anywhere near the playoff picture. So we do need to try and go on a decent little run of form to try and find our feet, to try and find a good run of points. Kuba's got the Man of the Match award, which probably doesn't say a lot about how well we played. Hernandez makes his debut, as did Camara. Petrovic will send the assistant to the post-match press conference. Hosseini needs a little bit of a rest. We might give him one before the next game, which is an FA Cup tie against Plymouth anyway. It's a good time to rotate. As we look forward in our schedule, I do want to jump forward a little bit. We might come back and do the games against Sheffield United, who are in 5th spot, and Wigan, who are down in 18th. But I believe Wigan beat us last time we played 2-1. So that'll be a good chance to try and get a bit of revenge against them and pick up 3 points as we start next season. We are also going to focus a little bit, I think, next week on the FA Cup journey. If we do find that we get back to the games against Sheffield and Wigan that we're not necessarily doing as well in the league as we might hope, and it's a bit of a treading water season, we might try and focus on the cup a little bit more and go on a little bit of a cup run. But that will all come in future episodes. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion that I appreciate the most. If you want to support the channel, you can drop a like on this video. Please, that YouTube algorithm, get us higher in search results when people search for FM content. But more than anything, I do appreciate you watching. That's the bit that means the most to me. You can check out our additional links just on that side, our Sunday night Twitch streams if you want to get involved with that, Sunday morning if you're over in the UK, or alternatively over on Twitter at @InTheMixer_FM for all our interactions within the Football Manager community, and it is a fantastic community to be a part of. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.